Sharpening wood turning tools must be one of the most challenging aspects of wood turning, but it's also one of the most important. So when I had the opportunity to create my own signature range of tools, it was really important to me that the person, when they brought it home, that they could not only sharpen it, but just maintain the profile or the cutting edge. So what I've done is I've created this sharpening chart, which gives, I suppose, the recipe or the jig settings to maintain that cutting edge using 4 of the most common jigs available out there on the market. I get a lot of people asking me, can I use these charts on tools that I already have? And the simple answer is, these were designed for use with the Hamlet parabolic flute. And if you own tools that have a V or a U-shaped flute, it's very likely that it'll give you something very, very different than what I had intended. So my aim today is really just to show you how easy my signature range of tools are to sharpen. And if you own one of these systems here, then it's very, very easy for you to apply the recipe and just get the perfect cutting edge. And believe it or not, many of the beginners who come here for a class never realize that sharpening is something difficult to do, because of all my tools color coded. And if you look here, you can see my range of bowl gouges and spindle gouge, all with their own individual color. So they can easily take a look at the sharpening chart, see which tool they're using, and then apply that setting to the grinder of their choice. So when it comes to setting up the Tormek, the Woodcut or the Oneway sharpening systems, we're really working with 3 basic settings. However, with the Sorby Pro Edge, we're working with 4 jig settings. Now I call those settings my recipe. So it's very, very easy for people to work with the jig settings that I give them and for them to create the cutting edge that I'm looking for. So when you receive one of my tools for the first time, just take note of this code here. So this tool is the GL5. I know it's a 1/2 inch diameter bar. Here we have the sharpening chart. And I'm just going to have a look at the chart for a moment. And it tells me that the GL5 has the green color code. So you can use insulating tape just to put that green color on the tool. So each time you refer to the chart, it's very, very easy to quickly see the tool sharpening settings which you need to use to sharpen on the jig. There are just a few simple steps you have to take when sharpening my tools on the Woodcut sharpening system. Have a look at the diagram, select the tool you're going to sharpen, have a look at the jig settings required, and then apply the jig settings first of all to the jig. The second step is to set the protrusion of the tool. And the final step is to set the distance of this pivot point away from the wheel, which allows the bevel here at the tip to make full contact with the wheel. And then you're ready to sharpen. We'll now have a look at the Oneway system using their Vari-Grind jig. And this is actually very like sharpening with the Woodcut system, but the Vari-Grind jig doesn't have a series of numbers printed onto it. It has a series of notches. But what I've done is I've given those notches jig setting numbers from 1 to number 7. And I've marked a little black line and just written the number on it so I can easily see exactly where I have to set this little arm each time. So let me show you the 3 steps to setting up the Oneway sharpening jig. First step is to set the jig to the right jig setting. Second step, set the protrusion of the tool. And then finally, we're going to set the distance of this pivot point away from the wheel. It's important that the bevel here at the tip comes into full contact with the wheel. And then we'll just lock it in place. So we're all set to sharpen. Setting up the Tormek jig is really quite straightforward, and it's only a matter of precisely making those adjustments each time. So I'm going to set the jig to the right jig setting, lock it in place by holding the head of the tool, which will prevent it from moving about when locking it up. The second step is to set the protrusion of the tool. And then the third step is to set the distance of this support arm away from the wheel. And that's it. The tool is sharp and we're ready to go. The Sorby Pro Edge requires 4 simple steps to set it up. The first step is to set this adjustable collar in the right position. The second step is to set the jig setting here on the side. The third step is to set the protrusion of the tool. And then the fourth step is to place the jig in the correct hole on the long grind jig. So choosing either hole 1, 2 or 3, depending on the tool being sharpened. So there you have it, and this is only one of the good reasons to own Glenn Lucas Signature tools. And if you'd like to see how I sharpen all my tools, there's a DVD that I've produced called Mastering Woodturning Tools and Techniques, and it'll show you how to sharpen your full range of tools, and it'll also show you how to use those tools. And of course my bowl turning DVD, which really gives the life story of a bowl from start to finish, and all you need to know in between. So thanks for watching and bye for now.